Welcome to the Virginia Values Veterans Program. I'm Andy Schwartz with the Virginia Department of Veteran Services. We're joined now by Ms. Meg Hendricks, Military Experience and Education Lead with First Data. First Data became certified in the V3 program in 2014 and since then has been actively engaged in recruiting, hiring, and retaining veterans. Meg, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about First Data and the improvement that you've seen over the last couple of years in recruiting, hiring, and retaining veterans.
For sure. Thank you, Andy. So First Data has this initiative that we call First Data Salutes, and as part of that, we have a military employment team, and we have 5 full-time military recruiters, and they have raised the percentage of military new hires from 2% at the beginning of 2014 to 15% at the end of 2015. So we've definitely been making great strides there. And we also work towards a lot of initiatives on retention. We have a military affinity group where we really promote camaraderie between those who we have hired to the company.
From 2% of new hires being military to 15% in 1 year, that's a huge jump. Obviously, First Data has seen some qualities in the military population that they find valuable. Tell us a little bit about those qualities and how First Data capitalizes on them.
Definitely, Andy. We know that veterans are leaders, they are good at doing project management, and they definitely bring a lot to the team, entrepreneurship, problem solving. And so now that we've gone from 2% to 15%, we have advocates within our company that really just make the proof in the pudding. They get the job done, and they really please their managers, so then their managers want to hire more.
And that's a great point, because one of the things I think of when I hear First Data is this sort of global commerce, world finance. And coming out of the military, when I came out of the military, perhaps when you came out of the military, our first instinct isn't to think of that industry, but obviously First Data sees it differently. What do you say to veterans who may look at First Data looking for a career?
For sure. I would say that we are a large company, we're a global company, and so in those types of companies like First Data, we have a multitude of different types of positions. So we have human resources, we have project management, we even have a JSOC. So we have a variety of different positions. So before you decide, that IT, you immediately look at it and say, IT isn't for me. Kind of talk to one of our military recruiters or check out the type of jobs we have online and then determine, if something at First Data might be a good fit for you.
That's great advice. National Guard and Reservists. Your traditional military member gets out of the military and gets transition assistance. First Data also employs National Guard and Reservists who have their own challenges. What has First Data done to keep them on board and to retain them in the workforce?
Yes, thank you. We have signed statements of support with the ESGR in several states, and we recently implemented a new policy that for 19 days of annual training, we pay 100% pay. So before it was a differential, and now while they're on those 19 days, they get 100%.
And that's huge, because they go away for training, they don't want to have to think about their job back home, but First Data is providing for them while they're away on that annual training. What about military spouses?
When we talk about our initiatives, we are talking about both veterans and military spouses. We think military spouses are very important, and we want to help the entire military family. So one of the programs that we have is a military spouse mobility program, where we've said the commitment is that if their active duty spouse gets change of duty station orders, there's a variety of things that we'll do in order to help them either maintain their position at First Data or help them connect them with other military-friendly companies in their new location.
Oh, wow. So if their spouse moves from, let's say, Virginia to another state, you will help them, whether it's with First Data or not, come up with another employment opportunity.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's fantastic what you're doing at First Data, both for our veterans, our transitioning service members, but also the National Guard and Reservists and the military spouses. What would you tell veterans who are looking for a career at First Data? Where would they go?
To firstdatasalutes.com.
Firstdatasalutes.com. Well, thank you so much, Meg. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. And thank you for watching the V3 program. To learn more about the V3 program and great companies like First Data who are committed to hiring veterans, go to www.dvsv3.com.